Afternoon, how are y'all? Good. This is Terry. We mainly do social engineering. We're interested in neuroscience, psychology, in particular business psychology more and more, because everything we're talking about today is used in business and marketing against us. So the business and marketing people have read the book and have turned around and started using it on us, so we will buy crap that we don't need or want. It's their job, so I'm not negative against it, because as social engineers, that's exactly what we want to do, is get you to buy crap you don't need or tell me stuff that you don't really need to be telling me. So a lot of the books, what got me interested in a practitioner guide was you read books after books, articles after article, and they say, we came and we talked to them. What the hell did you say? They don't tell us that, Oh, we were friendly to them. I mean, I get you slapped, your face slapped in a lot of places, So, what is social engineering? Real quick, we all know that it's a vector attack, that we're looking at people, we're trying to trick them. Okay? It's a con game. So let's just call it what it is. A lot of times they don't want to say that, but it's a con game. It's manipulation of humans through psychological acts. It's persuasive techniques. We'll look at some of that in just a second. A guy out in Arizona has done wonders with this, enlisting them. Go ahead. And we're going to hurry since we're starting late, because nobody wants to be late for supper. Okay, so again, we all know this. I mean, you know that we're trying to get key, sensitive information from you. Okay, we all know that.
Here it mentions prospective customer. That's where I come in. My background is in sales, and much of the same techniques used to get information from people is used to sell them things. So I'm going to be throwing in some non-technical sales stuff throughout the talk.
That works. I've seen her take a car salesman apart one day. She never said a word. And that's what took him apart. She wasn't responding to the script. Okay.
And I told him beforehand I was going to do it.
Oh, yeah. So I went away. And, of course, he went up and started talking to me. And I went, her. And then I stepped away. And then when they went inside to talk, I went and found me a chair behind a fake palm tree and sat down and just went, holy crap.
And he married me anyway.
I'm dating this woman and we're going to the Smokies together. Should I write notes? So we are the target. Okay, we say you, but it's all of us. We all get targeted every day with social engineering. So,
hang in there.
now, because I am a computer scientist for the engineering stuff, actually I'm listed as a computer engineer. So anything we do, also I'm from a psychology background, so I have both. And people go, well, that's kind of weird. I go, not really. You ever hear about robotics, artificial intelligence? Do you ever know that 75% of all software is picked because of the look and feel? Oh, Bubba, look and feel has nothing to do with engineering, except for human factors engineering or engineering psychology. You can look that one up from Georgia Tech. But anyway, so here's the math. We're looking at how the union of the two, can join with each other at the intersection of, and if they don't, then no, that's not what we're going to do today, okay?
Don't need all of that.
Okay, we're not going to do the math, okay? But I do want to point out this column back there. the first column, that was done by a PhD out in Arizona State. First time I read it was mid-late 80s with you. You introduced me to the psychology of influence. His stuff has been tested and retested from the 80s and proved to be accurate. Latest paper I just read was from the University of, listen, I don't know, some small country. But anyway, it was great what they did. Okay, so let's do a group experiment real quick, okay? Well, good. How many of y'all have pens and paper? Okay? If you want to, you can, if you don't have a pen, take them while they lie. Grab a piece of paper off of there and just rip and tear one of the pads. You'll rip and throw a pad backwards or over the side or something. And what we're going to do during these type of quick experiments like that is to show you some of the very tricks that are used by con people. Okay? I say the con people, you may believe in the spirit world. I don't. Okay? Because I've been on too many of these seances, ghost hunts. Yes, we've been on them. Yes, we had equipment. And yes, we saw some cool stuff. But for the most part, now most of you can keep this in your head, so we'll go ahead and keep moving. I want you to think of a number between 1 and 50. It must be odd, and both numbers must be different.
What?
What? Go ahead, show them the next one.
Both digits.
In other words, digits. Yeah, both digits must be different. Okay? In other words, you can't take an 11 because the two digits are odd, but they're not different. Okay? Both digits must be odd. Okay? Okay, everybody got a number?
Does it have to be an integer?
Yes.
Okay. Can it be 3.5?
No decimal
Right.
points.
And we knew we would run into this. So,
Okay.
well, no.
Okay.
We knew we'd run into this with y'all. Okay? Well, because of your background. Okay? Now, but think about talking to the person on the street. Okay? So, it is an integer. I should have added that, my fault. Do you have a number? Okay, everybody has a number. How many of y'all picked 37? Hold up your cards, your hands, whatever. 37. Okay. How many picked 35? Okay. Everybody else, go ahead and show them the... I love bell-shaped curves. You picked 37, you're within this group. 68% of the people right off the bat will pick 37. So if you meet somebody on the street, there's 2/3 of a chance they're going to pick 37. Ooh, I can read your mind. They pick 35, they're one, standard deviation off if we want to get, all statistical about it. But 35 is the second most picked number. Anything else, you're an outlier, okay, out here, okay? Now, what that means, though, this is a way for me to start testing to see which way I want to go with talking with you in social engineering. I'm beginning to get a feel for who you are and how you think.
Think about psychics, too, when you watch them on TV. Like you said, we're fascinated with them. They'll start with, I'm thinking of a letter, and it's either a J or an L. Well, they've already done their research and know that a lot of names start with J and a lot of names start with L. Most everybody knows somebody with L. People are already primed for thinking, oh, maybe it's me. And then through human biases, they want it to be them, so they start believing the next thing that's offered and the next thing, and pretty soon they bought into it.
And you see this a lot. What this does is you're trying to fill out your target, trying to know who they are. Now, you can do it with cute little games like we're doing here because, one, they're cute and they're fun, So,
Good bar tricks.
Huh?
Good bar tricks.
They're bar tricks, okay? Okay, what we're going to do now is I need 2 volunteers. And since you had a pad and paper, you can be 1. I need 1 more. How about you, ma'am? No, yeah, you. Don't hide. We know. No, nothing's going to happen to you. I just need you to hold this dictionary, okay? And be careful. It's about 30-something years old. It's actually a real English dictionary that was sent to me from Canada. Because I have a nasty habit of spelling behavior with a U, color with a U. So,
You just put a U in everything.
just put a U in it, it's English, and people go, oh, okay. Okay. What I need for you to do is think of a 3-digit number. Okay? It has to be an integer. All right. And, well, because now think about it. You're talking to somebody on the street from, public high school.
They may not even know what a digit is.
I went to one like when my school made a D on the state rating, we had a party. Okay, I'm not kidding. Okay. So, but think of one. You can't have all 3 must be different. So all 3 of the digits must be different. Okay. So write that digit down, that number down. Okay, I want you to reverse that digit. It's okay to write it on paper.
Wow.
I'm thinking. I'm not. Hey, I'm a programmer. I'm not a mathematician.
Now,
You make the computer count for you, right?
Exactly.
even though I got one person doing it, you can all do it in your head on paper I gave you 2. Okay? Now reverse the number. Now subtract the smaller number from the larger number. You see why you need a piece of paper to keep track of all this.
Uh-huh.
Now, the new number, reverse that number. Okay.
I hope you follow. I'm confused.
This is what fascinates me about mentalness, is they can get somebody in the audience talking to them do this.
Yeah, I don't even know.
What you did is pick a 3-digit number,
Yeah.
no repeating digits. You can't have like 2, 2, 4. They all have to be 3 different, So you got you have something that's, some number. Then you reverse that number. So if it started with a 1, it's going to end with a 1 now. Now you subtract them and end up with a positive number. That new number, you will reverse it. Okay? And once you reverse that number, then you add the number with the number you got here when you subtracted, reversed it, you add those 2 together. And I know what number you're supposed to come up with, so let's see if y'all do. Yeah, I almost had Terry type this one out too, because it's one of those you really got to pay attention to, but it's hard. So anyway, so you pick a 3-digit number, you reversed it, subtract the numbers from each other, took a new number and reversed it, added the new number to the previous sum that you got. You should come up with a number of 1,089.
I think I did something wrong.
I
Came up with 202.
Go home and have fun with this. Now, I've done a lot of these on spreadsheets and taken them out to, 999, which I did not count because that would have been, consecutive numbers. I took them out and it worked. Okay, you should come up with a number 1089. Now, if you'll take the 108 and make it the page number and look in the little dictionary I handed you to page 108, then the 9 is your 9th word on that page. Yes, I marked it for you. Okay. Go ahead and show them that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, with the word next. One more. That should be the 9th word. Now, yeah. Now, what this does, and yes, I'll take that back so you don't have to hold on to it. What that does is, one, it's got to be your dictionary, okay? But the number will always come up to be 1089, always. No matter.
Start with a 0.
Unless you start with a 0 and then you have some other problems. But again, but these are the things that and I've watched people do this one. It's amazing how they do it. That's the whole thing about social engineering, is they practice this stuff so well. And it's their dictionary. So they know what words on that page, and they'll write it on a piece of paper, and then they'll pull it out and say this word, and the person will go. You know? So let's do one more, just real quick, just to show you how, and the reason why we're doing this is, believe it or not, we're building up rapport with one another by playing games. And get it out. Pick a card.
You won't see this act in Vegas, I promise.
No, you never will. Now, look at the card. Well, I put these up. Okay, show the card so that somebody else knows what it is. Then, just slip it back in there so I don't see it. I've done this one several times and it hasn't worked. Let's see if it would have failed now. But anyway, now, would you hold your hand out like that, okay? Now, you do stuff like this. We're going to talk about this in a few minutes. Touching, okay? So now, our psychic energy is okay? And you pick I think you picked oh, it's hard to see. Over time. Jack of spades. That's it. Now, people who are sharp at this are really, really sharp at this, you know. And so we're gonna, that's the whole idea of, believe it or not, doing these little mentalist tricks are very much in line with what we do in social engineering. And there's dozens of more of them. I did one, we played with another trivia with another couple, and I did one with them, and they went, and they're very straight faced when things happen, and they went, how did you do that? And then when I explained it, she went to work the next day and did it at work, and they were all shocked. But if you have time, I'll share that with you.
Now, some of you, I'm going to tell them about their Facebook here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I have a different realm of people on my Facebook page. I probably have 1,500 people on there, but I'm also an artist, so I have some fringy people on there too. And I was really amused the other day. I had to show this to SA. There was a little thing going, you know, have you seen the things on Facebook where it's like, can you figure out this math thing? And it's got like 2 bags of French fries and a hamburger, and you've got to, haven't seen that? Oh, y'all are missing the fun side of Facebook. Anyway, somebody posted this thing and everybody's going, man, that is amazing. How did that work? And they were going on and on. So I went back and looked at it. And I don't remember exactly how it was worded, but it was basically take the year you were born, subtract this year from it, and you'll get your age.
Yeah, I did see that going around.
I was like, wait a minute. But people were blown away by it. So, I mean, there's just a whole different world of people out there that this kind of stuff really works on. You know, math is amazing, isn't it?
Or the one that's like, take your age, add 5 to it. That's how old you'll be in 5 years.
Exactly.
Okay, let's move on.
Find out what time it is. Wait an hour, and an hour from now. That's what time it is.
That's what time it will be.
Now, in doing social engineering, there's a bunch of different tricks that you do. And one of them is called a copying effect. So you wear the type of clothes that the group you're trying to get into or the person you're trying to get close to is wearing. Okay? See, I'm overdressed. So, last year I wore a bow tie, so I was really overdressed. But what I'm saying is you want to fit in with clothes, with your speech, and I see this a lot when we go up north. We don't sound like we're from up north at all. Unless we go to Maine, we fit right in. Tell me, your body language, okay? Different groups have different body languages. You've got to mimic them and learn their body language because you need to act like them, okay? Micro expression. A lot of group of people have small, minute, eyebrow raising, wrinkling of the face, little bitty things that normally you don't see, okay? But if you start learning those and you start mimicking them, subconsciously they pick them up, okay? So now we're going to play some open-ended questions because this is what you want to do in doing social engineering, okay? We do not want just the facts, okay? We do not want this, what you what you do, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not what we want here. We want you to open up.
It's not filling out a form on a web page. This is where you get the human side of things, human connection.
Okay, so what we want you to do is go ahead and start. Or do you want me to?
Questions already? Can I turn to your neighbor?
Well, yeah, I am. I want you to turn to your neighbor, and maybe not someone you know, so you may have to turn around, okay, or, But I want you to turn to your neighbor. I want you to just take a minute, ask them some open-ended questions, and see what you come up with.
Does everybody know what an open-ended question is? Something you can't answer yes or no. Right, you have to put some thought into it.
What's your name?
So, here are some examples that you could ask one another.
It's a yes or no.
In getting to know people, or various questions here, like that. Okay? So, that's pretty good doing it. Y'all want to talk to them. I know them.
What you call it,
So, no, I went to a high school band reunion a few months back, and in one, it was the drum major back when I was in school, and she spotted me across the room, and went, yeah, there you are, toward the back of the room, watching everybody. And she said, you did the same thing in high school.
Same thing at weddings 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I? So anyway, let's go ahead. We're going to have to pick things up and move along because we're short now. So what did you learn? These are the exploratory type questions. What did you learn? Go ahead. And one of the things is when you start doing this and you start talking and you start learning about a person, what color is their hair? What color are their eyes? Or for Terry, what colors are her eyes? Yes, interesting eyes. So anyway, the thing is, you want to start noticing those small things about them. Okay?
Romper rooms. Anybody here remember romper room? Yay! This was a kid show way back in the day. And there was a hostess on there, kind of like a kindergarten teacher. Really sweet, the perfect teacher. Beaver Cleaver's mom became a kindergarten teacher. And she would teach you all kinds of things, and she would talk through a little, it's supposed to be a mirror, and I see Tommy, and I see Susie, and it was almost like breaking that fourth wall on TV way back in the day. I barely remember it. Anyway, With open-ended questions, I had a really interesting thing happen just a few months ago. I co-host a glass bead retreat. I'm a glass bead maker by trade. And there are 30 of us who get together twice a year in Asheville, and we sit at big tables and we make beads till all hours of the night. And it's a group of people that pretty much know each other. We've been together, some of us, for almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel like you know everybody. So two ladies were sitting there. These people come from all over the country. We've even had people from Ireland come to it. Two ladies sitting right across from each other. And instead of yes, no questions, you know, we've asked all of those. Somebody said, what's your favorite childhood memory? And one of the ladies said, oh, when I lived in Connecticut and I was a kid, I used to love to watch Romper Room. It was my favorite show. And the lady across from me said, well, isn't that funny? I used to be a hostess on Romper Room. That's pretty amazing. And so the first woman said, yeah, Miss Connie was my favorite. And Connie O'Connell said, holy crap, that was me. 50 years later, they met in an old firehouse in Asheville, North Carolina. They had both taken up the same hobby and were sitting across from one another. That's pretty amazing. So open-ended questions can open up a whole world for you. That's just my little antidote for that.
Go ahead, yeah. One of the things that seems really strange, let people do you favors. You know, most time we go, oh, no, I've got this box. Or, oh, no, I don't need a ride, I can get me a cab. No, let them do a favor for you. They like you better for it. It's a bonding thing.
Car salespeople will often be working on something and go, oh, would you grab me a cup of coffee? And all of a sudden they feel like, oh, I made a friend, I took care of it. That's no question.
Oh,
I was just going to say, many times I've been sitting in a couple's home, selling them something, and the wife will ask a question that I don't really want to answer right now, and I'll ask her for a glass of water. She gets up and goes in and gets me the glass of water. By the time she comes back, she's completely forgotten her question, number one. And number two, she has just done me a favor, so she now feels motherly toward me.
Exactly.
And better about me than she did before, and less likely to even ask that question.
Exactly. What do you sell?
excellent example.
What do you sell?
Different things over the years.
Okay.
But I learned that back when I was selling those aerial photos that they used to take of,
Yep.
of farms, and then they'd hand paint them and everything, you know.
Right. We have a
I
friend,
knocked thousands of cold cards doing that.
we have a friend in Ireland doing that now with drones, and then selling them through now webpage, Facebook, and all that. So yeah, I remember y'all too from last year. So anyway, go ahead. Like I said, we like and trust people we perceive as similar to us. I mean, that just sounds like common sense. But a lot of times we have to prove common sense is really truthful. Okay, go ahead.
It's not common anymore.
We develop a preference for things just because they're familiar to what we're used to. Okay?
We've always done it this way.
Yeah, we're always done it this way. No, I'm not going to try that. I've never had that. I'm not eating that. You know, I mean,
Not how
snails.
my mother cooked it.
That's right. You know, snails are good after several beers. Okay. You know. Okay. Good. We'll start. When you talk about your target, okay, you use nice words. People will now apply those niceties to you. Okay? So now, by doing that and by talking the right adjectives about a person and how nice they are, and how smart they are, and how, you know, whatever they are, now people begin to go, you're one of us. We like you. Come sit over here. And you want that. You want that one of us type. Okay. It is amazing to watch a room of people get excited. It's contagious. And you can see and a lot of times you can see it started over here and it started going like that, like a virus. you know, but people get excited when other people are excited.
It's like standing out in a group and somebody looks up for a few seconds and then you watch everybody else start to look up too.
It's an oldie but a goodie, you know, it still works. And the same thing will go with negative people also. If you have in a group a negative person who strong personality, the Eeyore or Terry was telling me about, what was it, negative Nancy or
Debbie Downer.
you know, how they will bring that entire group down. Go ahead. Wah, wah. So people catch each other's feelings with face-to-face nonverbal communication. They also will catch an idea, but it has to be spread with words. So if a person is real excited about an idea and verbalize that really much, then they'll get excited too. No matter that it may not be all that great of an idea, all of a sudden they're all supporting it. So you want to start thinking in those terms. Go ahead. This is another great one to watch, like at dinner tonight. Watch a group of people laugh. The person they're more connected to, they'll turn and look at them when everybody laughs, even if it's across the room. So now, by doing that in a group, you can begin to see the connections. Who's connected to who, okay? Your feet. When you're in a conversation with a person and they've got their feet square at you, that means they're interested in talking to you. If their feet are beginning to turn like this, then they're trying to leave and they're trying to go here. You know, now you've seen people walk away. Yeah, that's a great idea. We'll talk to you later about that. And they're walking away. That's pretty obvious. But a non-obvious one, look at their feet. Are their feet, you know, here talking to you? You know, and it's an obvious situation where they should be squarely looking at you. So when you talk to somebody, you squarely talk to them. You know, so that they know, oh, he's really interested in what I have to say. Not really, I just want some information. Okay. Terry and I had a good discussion about blue lies. People will tell a blue lie to strengthen the bonds of a group. This is not what you call a black lie or a white lie. Blue lie is always there to help the group. Terry's example was a team that cheated to win. It was okay, it was for the group. Or, you know, yeah, your foot really was out of bounds, but they didn't catch it, so we won't say anything. Or others along those lines, that it's to protect the group. So this is a good one to look up and learn black, blue, and white lies.
Racism and sexism really fit into that too?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's very strongly used in politics.
Yeah.
One side will say things that,
I actually thought that first, but I didn't want to say it because it's too.
that's okay. It's all.
Man, we're with you. We get that, you know.
Yeah, but the blue lies keep this side agitated about certain things and this one over here, and then neither side makes sense to the other.
Okay. Yeah. The thing here is, if you're sincere, the praise is effective. If you're insincere, then it's simply manipulative. That doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means that, you know, my motives behind it are not good. Go ahead. Positive comments are more of an impact if they're delivered occasionally, okay? In other words, I've worked with some really, really talented people, and then I've worked with their followers. And, you know, everything out of their mouth, oh, they're so smart, they're so brilliant, they're so wonderful, they're so, you know, on and on and on. Actually, it works much better if you simply go, I'm not sure. But you don't say every single time you see them, "Nice shirt, I like that." Well, they pretty well figure it out. That's BS, you know. So you do it occasionally. And, you know, if you want to get all, you know, B.F. Skinner on you, operant conditioning, you know, rat running, pigeon chasing, you know, background psychology, it's called variable ratio. And you vary the ratio, in other words, when you can have constant, they get rewarded every time they poke a little light, or they get rewarded every fifth time, or they don't know when they're going to get rewarded, so they just keep pecking that light. At least my pigeon did, and that's why I'm at an 8. So anyway, so all this kind of sounds counterintuitive, but it works. Go ahead. Because we think you should be praising them all the time. No. People will judge you by your warmth, competitiveness. Go ahead and hit the next.
Well, we've talked about this with the warmth and confidence.
Yeah.
A lot of times people get a puppy. You hear about a guy that can't get a date, so he gets a puppy and goes to the dog park, and all of a sudden he looks different to people. He looks friendly and kind and warm. A bad guy wouldn't have a puppy.
Is that
No.
That works really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works really well.
Yeah, I knew a guy in the Air Force, he did that, you know, and, I mean, he needed all the help he could. You know, so anyway, so you always want to appear to be warm, you're not a threat to them, you know, they can trust you, okay? So to build this warmth, we tend to share goals, we have joint outcomes, we have common values. Again, as a social engineer, doesn't matter what your values are, we're in common with you, okay? So, another trick that works, if you're going to tell a lie, it has been shown that if you'll add some little embarrassing details in there, people go, he wouldn't lie about that. So I have my pilot's license. I'm terrified on a ladder. True, I don't like ladders, you know, but I would tie that in with some other things like, yeah, I remember when I was in Nam. You know, I had a choice, go to Nam or go to college. I'm slow, but I ain't that slow. So, you know, I have too many friends of it. Anyway, so similarity, you know, you want to fit in, birds of a feather, you know, remember that one's locks together. You got to believe in mom, apple pie, and American way. You know, of course, we all believe in that. You know, you got to make them believe that. Vocalize positive support. How many of y'all are Alabama fans?
Sorry.
The team. There's no state. There's only the team. You know, yeah, no, only the team.
Which kind of team?
Football. There's only one sport in Alabama. Football. Yeah.
You know a lot more about Alabama than I do.
We live in Alabama, and one of the things you have to do when you move there is pick a team. They are expecting you to pick Auburn or Alabama. Okay, Auburn for me. Terry picked
Tennessee.
That's right, which upset people terribly because they only think binary.
I seriously almost got fired from my first job in Huntsville, Alabama, because they said, okay, tomorrow's team day, everybody wear your team shirts. I said, okay, so I got my Tennessee shirt out, put it on, went to work, and got called in the office.
Wow.
It was supposed to be Auburn or
So
Alabama.
you united them against you, right?
I started on that long before the Tennessee shirt.
You were the outsider. It's like we might have racial issues in America, and then we have to go fight, China.
I just pretended I was a missionary to Alabama, I was trying to convert them.
Yeah. So one of the things is I'm not an Alabama fan, I'm an Auburn alumni. So my thing is, when I'm in a group of people, let's just say y'all are Alabama fan, I'm sorry to put that on y'all.
Now they're
I'm just
ticked off
teasing
at
with you, okay? But if I'm gonna fit in with y'all, I can't go in there and go War Eagle, you know, or War Damn Eagle.
I
You're
take
gonna
it
say
War
it
Eagles
correctly.
out there.
You can't, you know, yeah, they're rotary War Eagles, you know. So you can't go in there and badmouth their team, okay? Or their church, or their denomination.
No, the people are upset about the team.
Yes, they would. And so, so what you can say though is things like, you know, they did really well Saturday. That Coach Saban, he's got it together. Now, you haven't, you know, hurt your beliefs, you know, you haven't defected, you know, just don't slip up and say, where are you going, anything like that. You know, you're going to be in trouble. So anyway, handshakes.
Mason's in.
I need a volunteer. You're close, volunteer. That's a shake, okay? Now, in politics, which works for us in social engineering, I'm really glad to meet you. Much. Great seeing you again. I really love
That's the
working
church
like you.
handshake.
Okay, now, if I want to dominate the handshake, I turn to you. I love it. Okay, let loose, let me take it over, okay? I'm on top. I'm dominant. And one of the most famous ones right now that, you know, we won't go into politics, is the jerk to you. And that's when the person jerks you to them, okay? And yeah, they jerked here, that shows I control you. And it works. Any one of those works. A friend of mine was telling me about, he was at somewhere and some guy went up to some colonel and did the turn thing, handshake like that. And my friend didn't know what that meant. But this other guy went, did you see what he just did? No. Showing dominance to that colonel. Now, he counted penguins in Antarctica. But anyway, smile. How many of y'all know what Eeyore types? You know, they never smile, they're never, you know, okay? They don't make good social engineers. Unless it's an act. But most people smile. What it does, when you smile, it throws a happy little party inside your brain. Okay? We all want happy little parties. Go ahead. These things, it activates all kinds of neuron messagings in it makes your neurotransmitters just go wild. Endorphins are what you release if you do long distance running like I used to do. I have a bad knee now, is from doing that. But what it does is when you smile, you feel good and it translates to the other person.
Believe it or not, this actually works on the phone too. You can hear people smile on the phone. Try it sometime if you're talking to like a help desk. He usually has me call a help desk if we need anything. Because I used to work on a help desk out in the Army. That was an experience. But if you smile at them, you'll hear a totally different attitude in their voices and they're more willing to help. So I try to turn some of this around on people.
Exactly. Terry does it a lot, trust me. And so eye contact, smiling when you do, works wonders. Now people want to be around you. You smile, you must be a nice person. I want to be around nice people, right? No? Yes, you do. Okay, go ahead. Now, looking here, you've got to stroke your target's ego. You cannot be the dominant person. You cannot be the leader. You want them to be the leader. You want them to take charge. You want them to tell you why things are the way they are. You got them talking now because we stroked their ego.
I want to throw something in here.
Yeah.
In sales, one trick is you want the people to make the decision to buy it, you don't want to sell it to them. Because I guarantee you that if you help them make the decision that this is what they need to spend their money on, they're going to be so much happier and they're going to go out and tell everybody what a good deal they got, what a nice widget is that they bought from you. But if they feel like you forced it on them and strong-armed them, it used to be when you bought a car, that's how it always worked. And people usually had buyer's remorse after new cars quite a bit. It changed all that because it was working against people, working against the car companies. But, you know, if you'll help people feel good about what they're doing, then they're going to feel like they're in control.
Okay? It works by stroking their friends, by stroking your target's ego by way of their friends. Yeah, you know, he is really great to work with. I'm really enjoying being on the committee with him. They like that because that's their friend. It gets back. It elevates, makes you part of the posse.
Even better if they accidentally overhear you doing it.
Yes. So anyway, everybody wants confirmation, and we got to go.
Can you speed read?
Huh?
Can you speed read?
Yeah, really. I can't even speak think. Go ahead. I'm from Alabama. Yeah. Anyway, some kind of self-disclosure is one of the best building techniques. Go ahead. When you learn something about somebody, you feel closer to them. They feel closer to you. So, you know, I have a bad knee. I just shared that with y'all. It's amazing how that works. Go ahead. Especially, I have some friends that are runners. They want me to run. I go, not now. You know, bad knee. Oh, wow, what happened? I used to run 10 miles a day. You know, so go ahead. Pygmalion effect. If you've ever read any of this, you know. If we expect somebody to be a jerk, they will. If you expect them to be a nice person, they will. And so to the largest extent. So you never want to get things started off on the wrong foot. Always assume you're going to get information and that they're going to be open and willing to talk to you. When we think we like somebody or the target thinks they like us, chances are we will like them in return. So it's a reciprocal relationship. Have a good sense of humor. It works really great if the humor a lot of times is about you. You know, about, yeah, one time we had it and I missed that step and, you know, almost fell down. People like being around people with a sense of humor. Go ahead. People love to have other people love to talk about themselves, okay? So let the target do that. Let them talk, not you, okay? We're proving this with scans. The other thing is the example Terry gave of the car dealer. Be silent. Listen. Okay?
He who speaks first loses.
Listen more, talk less. Go ahead. Most people listen to respond. They do not listen to learn. They're listening to you talk so they can turn around and you're talking, their turn. Let the person talk. Sit there and go, interesting. I like what you said. That reminds me of. Now what you've shown is that you've heard them, you're thinking about what they've said, and now you have a response that really does tie to what they say. I've been in a lot of conversations that the quick response back like that proved the person wasn't listening at all because they're taking it down that avenue that way, and the target was going this way. Okay, the famous song, Say My Name, go ahead. You always want to use a person's name, okay? There's no thing about you're supposed to use their name for 3 times. If you watched young Sheldon last night when he was reading a book about making friends, he used the person's name 3 times. in a ridiculous fashion. That's what where the humor was. But when a salesperson or waitress, Terry's the one that taught me this. I mean, where I went to college, I was in Phi Mu Alpha, which is a music fraternity. And we don't tip because, well, we're musicians. We don't have any money. And so, but you learn bad behavior. Terry's the one that taught me because she would always have good service. Why? The wait staff would come up to her, say who they are. Terry would repeat their name. You know, hi, Kim. You know, thank you. Oh, well, I was in Ecuador, Quito, exactly, one time. And I would go in the morning for breakfast, and I would say, you know, Spanish words for hello, thank you, and all that good stuff. And they went, you know, we all speak English. I went, yes, but I'm in your country. I should at least try. My service went. When I walked back to my room, people in the lobby working at the hotel went, hi, have a good day. It had already spread. So, usernames, it's music, they're to people's ears, okay? Develop the ability to remember names. I'm terrible at it. You know, give me a math formula, I'm good. Okay. They think positive of you. Work their name every time you meet your target. Not like every 5 minutes, but you know, if you meet somebody 6 months from now, hit them with their name. They go crazy. Summary. We didn't write a thing for a summary. What do y'all think? What experiences have y'all done? When was the last time you ate? Yes. Are you really proud of that?
Yep.
You can't tell?
Yes.
Co-op
I
next.
am from Alabama.
You can fake an accent.
Do I not sound like that? Please say no.
What's
Don't
a
sound like
war
you're
eagle?
from Alabama.
Not from there.
Terry's from Tennessee. I grew up in Alabama. I've lived in Texas.
Why is it War Eagle?
What is that?
What is a war eagle?
Yeah.
The Auburn Tigers is their official mascot, but during a game in 1896, they let a veteran let his eagle loose, and it started flying around the field, and people started shouting "War Eagle" as the bird kept flying when they won the game.
This is why we win trivia a lot on Wednesday nights.
So like if you say War Eagle to an Alabama person, that's something.
Well,
It's
they'll
like
say
Auburn.
"Roll Tide" back to you.
Okay.
You know, there was a commercial a couple of years ago in Alabama where people were greeting everybody. Kept going on and on during these greetings, and all of a sudden somebody, where are you? Yeah. You know, so it was a good little commercial. Okay, thank y'all so much. I'm sorry we rushed, but we wanted y'all to be